Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our HCPS Career Conversation Series. I'm Mrs. Edwards, one of the career counselors at Atlee and Patrick Henry High Schools. And we also have Ms. Corbin joining us this morning as well, the career counselor for Hanover and Mechanicsville High Schools. But we'd like to share that we're very excited to have Ms. Tricia Rudolph with us this morning. She actually owns her own full service accounting firm. And so we're really excited to just hear more about the field of accounting and kind of her unique tips and tricks for students that are interested in jobs and interviewing and resume tips and just really anything that she'd like to share with us in relation to careers and careers in accounting. So with that, before we get started, I'm actually going to hand it over to Ms. Rudolph to share a little bit more with us about her role there in her firm, and then also a little bit with you all about how she got to her position where she is today and kind of what that career journey looked like for her. So Ms. Rudolph, again, thank you for joining us, and I'll just hand it right over to you.
Thank you.
So to start us off, would you share just a little bit more with us about your firm and then also what your role is and how you got to kind of where you are today in your position?
Okay, well, I'm the owner and accountant of the business. And we prepare personal, business, and nonprofit tax returns and financial statements and also local tax returns such as business and personal property returns. And how I got started in accounting, I was lucky enough to get a job out of high school. I did not go to college right away, which I highly recommend that you do, especially if you go into the accounting field. But I went into payroll and kind of worked my way up. It was harder not having an accounting degree, but I worked my way up. I did go back to school after I had my children, and did get 2 accounting degrees. But once I received my degree, as soon as I got it, I got a $20,000 raise. So I encourage anyone to go to school and get their accounting degree. It definitely pays off. But the way I really got my start into the CPA or public accounting, because I started out in private accounting, was I lived in Nags Head for a little while. I went into a CPA firm and I asked them to hire me for a week for free. And they didn't hire me. I mean, they hired me on the spot. They did pay me, but I worked there for 3 years and worked my way up. And I guess they really appreciated the gumption and the attitude that, I had of, I'm going to show you what I got. And I felt positive. So, positive approach is good. Maybe I was too positive, but it was a big chance. But there weren't very many, accounting firms in Nags Head. I think there were 2. So, you kind of had to give it your all. So then, I came back to Richmond and worked for some other public accounting. And then I decided to start my own business.
Well, that is really a neat story, and to really, like you said, show them what you've got is really bold and very cool that you did that. And so thanks for sharing that with our students and just kind of sharing a little bit more about your background. Well, the next part of our series today, we'd like for you, if you could, to just share a little bit more with us about some of these questions that we've put together for you today.
So what personality traits are important for someone interested in this field?
You definitely have to be conscientious. You need to be friendly because you're probably going to be working with clients, and you need to get along with others. That's the personality traits that I see that someone needs to have with accounting. Conscientious is really important because it's very tedious sometimes, and you have to, really look over what you're doing and be conscientious of your final work.
Thank you. And so what will help a student make a positive first impression on a resume and in a job interview? Could you just talk a little bit about how a student coming into the field, what would help impress somebody who's looking for someone in the accounting industry?
Well, in accounting, unfortunately, most accounting, you have to dress professionally. So I would definitely come to the interview and dress professionally. Now, some firms are more lax now, and you don't have to dress as professional, but to go for an interview, I would start by dressing professionally. Also, you need to be positive when you go in, and just don't think I'm not going to get this job. You need to think you are going to get the job and be positive, and you need to answer the questions directly. And then my biggest thing for people that are coming to me looking for a job is be on time. Because if somebody comes to me and they're 5 minutes late, I'm not going to hire them, because I'm going to think, well, if you're 5 minutes late here, you're going to be in a job interview, you're going to be 5 minutes late to work. So, I'm going to pass you up over somebody else that's on time. Or, I was taught in school and in Hanover schools, one class I took, the teacher always told me to be 15 minutes early, and I've stuck to that to this day, and it's been great for me.
That's really good advice for our students. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And what other skills do you think students need to be successful in this career field?
Well, you need to be organized. You need to be able to multitask, especially in public accounting. You could have 10 clients emailing you and wanting this, and then you're working on this client. So you need to be able to switch back and forth really quick. You need to be good with numbers and be able to follow directions. And when you're given directions, you need to be able to work on your own. Because when you're an accountant, you're most of the time, you're not in a group setting. You take your work and you're doing it by yourself. And it's highly recommended you at least get a associates in accounting, because you have to learn what debits and credits are, and it's sometimes a hard concept to grasp, and at least getting an associate's degree will help you understand that. And then you will also know some people want to be an accountant, but they think, oh, this is, once you start taking classes, it can be hard, and they think then you'll learn whether it's for you or not.
That's really good advice. And students going into the field trying to figure out what they want to do, and then they might have that opportunity to kind of discover whether it's for them or not. That's really great advice. Are there any other pieces of advice that you would offer our students? Anything else about the field that you would like to share?
I think one thing that's great, if you could find if you're interested in accounting, if you could find a company that'll mentor you and give you a chance to just learn some, on the job training, maybe even before you decide to do it. And if you could find somebody to do it in high school, that'd be great. Because I had one person that, wanted to do it, and after a year, they're like, this isn't for me. You just don't know.
Yeah, that's really helpful information. So in your practice, do you ever have any opportunities for students for part-time jobs or mentoring or anything like that?
I haven't to date done any mentoring, but it's something that I have been interested in, just because the opportunity hasn't presented itself. But yeah, because I guess because as I get older in my field, there's not a lot of young people coming into accounting. So we want to encourage younger people to take on the accounting role. And one thing I can say about accounting, it's recession proof. So all these people that are, don't have, they're getting laid off because of the pandemic or other things, taxes are always there. So
that's so true. Yes. Yeah. So a great field to go into, because there's always going to be jobs available. That's very true. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to share this information with us, and for sharing, more information about the accounting industry and your background. This has been great tips and information for our students. So thank you.
Thank you
so much. I'm glad you can still hear me. I'm looking at a totally dark screen, but I appreciate Ms. Rudolph. Thank you so much for doing this for us today. We really do appreciate your time. We know how busy you are, I'm sure, at many different times of the year, especially this time of year. So thank you for that. And if students have any questions beyond today, would you be okay with them reaching out to you directly?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, everyone, we're going to close out today's series. Ms. Rudolph, thank you again for being here with us today. And we hope you all join us for tomorrow's career conversation series. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.